Hello, Nick Ringus here with the weekly recap. Today, last week, Penguin 2.0 was rolled out, and I'll read what it says here on mattcutts.com about it. We started rolling out the next generation of Penguin web spam algorithm this afternoon on May 22nd, 2013, and the rollout is now complete. About 2.3% of English US queries are affected to the degree that a regular user might notice. The change has also finished rolling out for other languages worldwide. The scope of Penguin varies by language, e.g. languages with more web spam will see more of an impact. It's been said that Poland and Russia have more web spam, so apparently they'll have more of an impact. This is the fourth Penguin-related launch Google has done, but because there is an updated algorithm, not just a data refresh, we've been referring to this change as Penguin 2.0 internally. For more information on what SEO should expect in the coming months, see the videos that was recently released. Added, if there are spam sites that you'd like to report after Penguin, we made a special spam report form at this URL here. Tell us about spam sites you see and we'll check it out. Which is the funniest part of all is this, that they're still seeking for SEOs to report spam sites or where they get their links from, which is just hilarious. And people probably still do it. In the last update of Penguin and Panda, you'll remember, if you were around that back then, about a year ago, that Google sent out over 600,000 unnatural link notices to the users of their Google Webmaster Tools, and basically wanted people to turn themselves in as to what they were doing in SEO and where they were getting their links from. So that it's basically a phishing expedition to get information from users to turn people against each other and to turn these sites in. Probably effective. I don't know. So more from Matt Cutts. In fact, we took action on several thousand link sellers in a paid link that passes PageRank network earlier today. So let's see what the experts had to say. First, I looked at Dory Friend because she's sending me a bunch of emails about Penguin 2.0, and she's been an SEO for probably 12 to 14 years. Her specialty is private blog networks that act as buffer sites so that you can link to these buffer sites and that link juice will pass through these money sites, effectively creating a buffer and still being effective in passing that link juice onto your money site, increasing the ranking. So let's look at what she had to say. Basically, she was talking about somebody in the weight loss market. She searched for weight loss in Google, and she said that this site called, it's really small here, 123-weightloss.com was on the first page, and she thinks that this will be the first type of site to be hit because they are overusing the same anchor text. So basically the same thing that happened in the last Penguin update. She thinks that it's going to happen again, even further, and it makes sense that she would say that because she's selling SEO buffer service, which means that obviously more people would be interested in her SEO buffer if that's the best way to do things to keep your site safe through these updates. I'm not sure that it is. However, I looked for 123-weightloss.com today. On the first one or two pages of Google when you search weight loss, and it's no longer there, so she was right. Secondly, she then said that that Google's going after paid links, but she thinks that it's funny that it's okay for the big guys to sell links like the New York Times, and she shows these examples of the New York Times selling links on their homepage, and even more obvious that all the internal links are no follow and the external links going to their advertisers are do follow. So all the link juice is going through the New York Times to those advertisers. Probably pretty expensive links, but they do work, which is evident by the fact that Matt Cutts even said that paid links are the ones getting hit, but I don't think they are, because it's too early to tell. First of all, it's too early to tell. It's only been 2 days now since this update has been released, and from the forums that you go to, like Warrior Forum, mostly people fighting back and forth like idiots about what this update is about. But if you go to other forums like Bring the Fresh and Infinitum, which is source-wave.com, their forum, their paid forum, these are professional SEOs that have a lot of sites to look at. And when I look at my own sites, basically you only see very few sob stories. I'm looking down here, these notes that I have. It's a little too early to tell, and feedback and results are still limited in scope. On average, people seeing their sites drop about 5 slots. In some cases, sites drop to page 12 or beyond before returning, and spam sites and links are staying put or actually increasing in ranking. And I've actually heard some people that have had horror stories from the last Penguin update. Now, out of nowhere, they're being found again on page 3 or page 4. So it's weird, because it wasn't absolute pandemonium like the first Penguin update that was released about a year ago, even though people were anticipating it. So it might have been a ploy to get people scared of things to come, a little foreshadowing. Let's go on to what Alex Becker says in his recent webinar about this. It was called Penguin, I guess, so that a lot of people would sign up and watch it, but it was only about 5 minutes about the update, and the rest was just a regular training and then a sales pitch. Well, he's pretty good about giving a lot of value, so I don't blame him for this, but it was a sales pitch for the Infinitum membership, which is his membership site, and then the forum that I just mentioned earlier. So he says that what they're going after is tiered link building and automated link building, and eventually they will try to become more and more of a social network based ranking algorithm, and perhaps they'll get rid of the page rank and relevancy factor, but that's not happening. He thinks that this update is going after tiered link building, where you use automated tools like SENuke to build a Web 2.0 sites that link to your site, and then a bunch of links pointed to those sites passing through that link juice. So again, all theory, because it just hasn't been proven. So far, it hasn't been there hasn't been many sob stories, like we said. Not a lot of drop in ranking. I've seen nothing really. I've seen a couple ups, couple downs in terms of my clients' rankings. So I guess it's too early to tell, but nothing yet. Lastly, let's talk about this paid link building. Obviously, it works. It works very, very well. Strategic link buys. Alex Becker thinks that the algorithm is just that, a filter, that they can't possibly manually go out and de-index sites. So he thinks that an algorithm update doesn't happen lightly. It takes a long time, months if not a year, to come out with, and they have to get it right. They have to get rid of all these spam sites that are manipulating the results without getting rid of the good sites, which is extremely hard to do if you think about it. And I guess the only way he says that you can do that, create a math problem that gets rid of only the spammy sites, is to go after automated link building. And he says that it's damn near impossible to go after the private link networks, the high PR link networks that SEOs are building. But if you go to, he didn't say this directly, but let's say you go to backlinks.com, something that may have been hit by what he says, thousands of link sellers and a paid link that passes PageRank network earlier today. This could be one of those networks, but it can't be an algorithmic change. It would have to be like a manual shutdown of these sites that are advertising, selling links, advertising paid links. So I don't know. Alex Becker says it can't be done because it can't be done algorithmically. But if you look at in the past when they shut down all the blog networks, obviously that wasn't all algorithmic. They went into these blog networks as a customer, got a big list of these sites from these people that were putting together these public blog networks, and just de-indexed them, making the links in there useless. So that's why we saw a huge drop in ranking back then. We haven't seen a purely algorithmic update that had such a drop in ranking, I'd say. So I don't think it was purely algorithmic back then. And for them to get rid of these paid links, they would have to go into these websites that publish advertisers and get rid of them pretty much one by one, which is hard to do, but it's possible because we've seen it happen with these public blog networks in the past. So my 2 cents is it's probably an algorithmic update, but don't go advertising links for sale. You know, it's very tempting if you have a blog network to go and advertise that you have links for sale on the blog network, but those are the people that have gotten spacked in the past and gotten their sites de-indexed. So if you want to keep your link network safe, don't do that. It becomes harder because then you have to go out and find people that want to buy links pretty much one by one, and you can't advertise that you have these links for sale. So it does make it harder, and I think we beat this to death, even though there weren't that many sob stories or people getting destroyed by this. If you saw people affected, please leave comments below the video on SEOspartan.com. Also, I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts on this update, what you thought of the video, what we should talk more about, where you think the update is going, where you think the Google algorithm is going. Anything that you want to add, you can add your 2 cents below the video. This has been Nick Kringus with the Weekly Recap.